Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. Yahweh Shai being the name of his beloved Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus. All right, this is the brother Yair Dada, WFI Indiana camp. We're going to hop right into it through the Spirit. Going into, all right, this Kokuk going into the God of the Israelites is visiting the earth, man. Because that's what's going on right now. Right, you got the God of the Israelites visiting the earth, man. All right, real quick, let's go to the book of Second Esdras chapter 7. It's like Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 17, and it reads, "And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake. And the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth." So the Lord is saying what? He said the days come where he's going to draw nigh and begin to visit them that dwell upon the earth. All right, what is he talking about? Real quick, let's go to the book of, we're going to go back to this, but let's go to the book of, Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. All right, we bring this out all the time. How's the Lord going to visit the earth? It says, this is Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1 from the top. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." So that's how the Lord is going to be visiting the earth. Through the plagues, through the people, plagues. All right, these famines, so-called natural disasters, these earthquakes, whirlwinds. You understand? Pestilences, droughts, fires, all these different things. People rising up against nation, rising up against nation. The people that all these things are being caused by the Most High at the end of the day. And that's the Most High visiting the earth. That's the Most High putting forth what his plan at the end of the day. That was spoken of from the beginning of time. Since before the world began. You understand? So back in Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse, we left off at, I'm going to read 18 again. It says, "And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them." That word inquisition is going into inquire, examine, or investigate. Okay? It says, make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the afflictions of Zion shall be fulfilled. You understand? So the Lord is saying, look, I'm going to come and visit the earth. How is he going to visit the earth? Through the upwards of the people, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, so on and so forth. These are the signs that the Lord is giving you, that he's visiting the earth and judging the earth, ultimately. Let's go to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16. And let's start at verse 2. Let's start at 1. It says, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Assyria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sackcloth and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." And why is their destruction at hand? Because one, the Lord has it so, but two, because of the things that they've done unto the children of Israel. Those things don't go unnoticed. The Lord is just not seeing those different things. It's not like the Lord's so busy that he don't see what's going on, all right, with his children. The Lord hears the cry of his saints daily. You understand? Let's get that real quick in chapter 15, I believe. Yeah, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 8. Right, we'll start at verse 8. It says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they have wickedly exercised themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. You see that? It said they complain continually. All right, we throw up the curses, man. To every camp. Brothers and sisters pray, throw up the curses at home. Brothers and sisters are praying, asking the Most High to come back, asking the Most High to judge these heathen, man. When people die unjustly, guess what? Or when people die, period, in this captivity, guess what? They go up and complain unto the Most High God. Right? You read about that in the book of Job, chapter 23 and 3 on down. Right? So the blood of the saints is complaining unto the Lord daily. Not only the blood of the saints, but guess what? The saints, period, that's here still on the earth. Quick, let me get this in the book of Psalms real quick. Psalms chapter 94. It's the book of Psalms chapter 94 and I'll start at verse 5. It says, I'm going to start at this whole chapter. I'm gonna start at verse 1. I got to. Right, this is the book of Psalms chapter 94 and verse 1. It says, O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth, O God, to whom vengeance belongeth, shew thyself. It says, lift up thyself and judge the earth, render a reward to the proud. Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph? It says, how long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? It says, they break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. They slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. So that's how these heathens think, man. That's how these other nations think. That's how Babylon thinks. Babylon thinks that the Lord is not going to get up with them at the end of the day for the things that they do. All right, even in the book of Zechariah 11 and 5, it goes on, when you keep reading, it goes on to say what? For they think that they, right? Let me not quote. Let's get it real quick. All right, this is the book of Zechariah. All right, this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11. How I'm doing on time. Okay. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So they think they do the Lord's work when they persecute us. Not only that, but they think the Lord is not going to get up with them for the things that they do against the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? So back in Psalms chapter 94 and verse I'll read 7 again. It says, yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planteth the ear, shall he not hear? Right? Meaning what? Meaning the one that created, the God that created the ear, does he not hear the complaints of the saints? Does he not hear the evil plans to conspire against the children of Israel? The evil counsels set up to keep Israel in sin as much as possible? Right? The evil plans to try to continue to take away our young brothers and sisters, man, and do God knows what with them, kidnapping our women, so on and so forth, sex trafficking, sex slaving, and all this other different stuff, man. Did the Lord not hear these different things that's going on? Yeah, the Lord hear it, man. It says, he that formed the eye shall he not see, right? It says, he that chasteneth the heathen shall he not correct. He that teacheth man knowledge shall he not know. The Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. So the Lord understands and the Lord knows all these different things that's going on. But he going to get up with them, right? Even at the beginning of that chapter said, what? Vengeance belong unto the Lord. And he's going to get up with them, right? Let me get this in the book of Deuteronomy real quick. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 35. It says, to me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. See, that's so the day of vengeance. The Lord is going to get up with them at the end of the day, man. Right? The Lord is not just looking at these things as like, oh, it is what it is. Nah, the Lord is going to recompense. All right? The Lord is going to revenge at the end of the day, and he's going to get his vengeance, right, for the children of Israel. So, real quick, back in 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 3, or Salakia, 16 and verse, 16 and verse, I'm going to finish verse 2 again. It says, gird up yourselves with clothes of sackcloth and hair, bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And that's Babylon, this place, their destruction is at hand. Not just Babylon, but guess what? Asia too, man. All these wicked nations, guess what? Their destruction is at hand. Let's reading on. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Meaning what? War is on the horizon. War is here. And it's inevitable. It don't matter how many peace talks they try to have, how many seminars or meetings or this or that or trade. It don't matter. War is inevitable. It's going to happen. It has to happen. Why? Because the Lord spoke it. And whatever the Lord says is going to happen, guess what? It's going to come to pass. Real quick, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 24. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 1. It says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattered abroad the inhabitants thereof. Through what? Through war, pestilence, famines, fire sent out, dried up places. Okay, it says, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. Meaning what? Nobody's going to be able to escape these different things. It don't matter if you high class, if you middle class, if you low class, straight up poor. Everybody's going to, if you're not covered with the hand of the Lord, everybody is going to receive these different plagues. Every class, nobody's going to be safe from the destruction of the Lord. Nobody's going to be safe from the war that's coming upon the face of the earth unless the Lord got his hand upon you, covering you from those different things. Okay? It says, this is the point though I want. It says, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word. It said, for the Lord has spoken this word, meaning what? It's going to happen. It's going to come to pass. War is inevitable. It's talked about all throughout the scriptures. All throughout the scriptures. The Lord said, he's setting the stage, man. The Lord is setting the stage. He said, I will gather all the kings together and I will plead with them. You understand? So these different things is happening. Why? Because the Lord wanted to happen, and it's going to happen. All right. So it says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Talking about what? War. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's destined. Okay. And there's nothing, like I said, there's no peace treaties or nothing that's going to happen that's going to stop these different things. Why? Because the Lord is brewing these things up. Real quick, let's get Proverbs chapter 21 and 1. Right? Because the Lord is in control of all these different things at the end of the day. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Who are the king? Who are the modern day kings? Your Joe Bidens, your Putins, Vladimir Putins, all these other different prime ministers and different things that those are the modern day kings. And guess what? Hey, their heart, meaning their mind, is what? It's in the hand of the Lord. And he turneth it whithersoever he will, meaning what? He gonna do whatever he want with it. If he want Biden to say F it and just push the nuclear bomb on Russia, then hey, that's what he gonna have him do. If he want Putin to say F it and do the same thing, then guess what? Hey, that's what he gonna have to do. If he want them to continue butting heads and eventually get to the point to where somebody throw the first swing, then hey, that's what the Lord gonna have happen. It's all in his hands at the end of the day. Right? They minds. All right. So this is right, selected. Let's go back to the book of Second Esdras chapter 16. Right? And verse 4. It says, a fire is sent among you, and it says a fire is sent among you, and who may turn it back? Now you got fires being sent out all over the world. Forest fires going on and happening, so on and so forth. Not only do you have these forest fires going on and happening, but guess what? Hey, you have what? Droughts. Major droughts happening all over the world. Right now, you have multiple places on the earth that are in droughts. Some places that have never been in droughts before. All right. You got the areas that have droughts in Southern California. They going through a major drought right now, to the point to where on September 6th, they making a decree and a command essentially to where nobody can use water to just water their grass or other different uses of water when it comes to water holes or whatever the case may be for 15 days straight. So for 15 days straight, nobody is allowed to use water to water their grass or do basically unnecessary watering habits. Like you keep your water thing on all day to water your grass, or you use your hose, or you do that. I don't know what people do with those things. That's they like to water their grass, I guess, right? Israel, we don't always have that luxury. So for 15 days straight, they're not allowed to use it. All right, that's in Southern California, right? Not only that, Massachusetts, Connecticut, parts of Massachusetts. I can't remember if it's east of Massachusetts or south, but I'm pretty sure it's east of Massachusetts. Connecticut and Rhode Island are all at a level 3 out of 4 drought right now. So it's 4 levels of drought. Right now, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, they're all at a level 3 drought. All right. So with these, so you got Southern California, you got Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island all in a drought right now, right? You got Britain. Britain is in the major drought right now, right? To the point to where they are on water restrictions, meaning what? Meaning, guess what? They're monitoring how much water people are using. To the point to where you can't just, guess what? Those hour-long showers, that you can't do that over there right now. 30-minute shot, guess what? You can't do that right now. You just leave your water on while you're brushing your teeth. Hey, you can't do that right now over there. They literally placing water restrictions on the people in Britain. All right, and then you got Texas. Okay, Texas, right? They're in a mega drought right now, what you would call a mega drought, to the point to where a lot of the cattle that's over there is what? Dying. So a lot of the cattle that's over there in Texas dying simply because there's no water. There's no water to feed there's not enough water to feed these animals. You got farmers, hey, it's getting to the point to where the farmers, guess what? Hey, they choosing themselves over the cattle. If they give the cattle all the water, then guess what? They won't have none for themselves. So it's to the point to where it's either these cattle or me. And guess what? Hey, those farmers over there, they choosing themselves, man. Okay, so you got a mega drought going on in Texas, right? And then not only that, but you from Texas all the way west, You got it's being called the worst Western drought in 1,200 years. The worst Western drought. So you got to realize it's not just California and just Texas that's in a drought. You have all those states over there that's in a drought, but they're just at different levels. You understand? But all that west from Texas westward, hey, it's being called the worst drought in 1,200 years. All right, that's not a light thing. Not only that, you got lakes drying up in the Middle East. You literally have lakes drying up in the Middle East. All right, literally to the point to where they if I'm not, I think it's Israel or Palestine, or one of them. They said that what they're going to start doing is getting water from the Mediterranean Sea, taking the salt out of the Mediterranean Sea, because that's a saltwater sea, but taking the salt out of it, and then trying to refill. They're trying to refill the rivers, the different rivers and lakes with the water. See, they're trying to find solutions for these different plagues that the Lord is bringing forth upon the face of the earth. But guess what? It's not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. They're going to refill them, and guess what? Hey, they're going to have to keep doing that. And guess what the Lord going to do? He's going to dry those things out faster than they can refill them. These plagues, you can't do nothing about it, man. It's coming to the earth. It's coming to a spot near you, man, if it's not already there. So these different things, guess what? You can't run from it, right? Not only that, you got China. They just announced this literally. Like 15 minutes ago. China is in its first drought. Or Salakia, they announced their first like state of emergency drought in because of scorching temperatures. So China has just now, and literally they did this today, right? They've announced an emergency drought, right? So China's in an emergency drought right now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different places that's in major droughts. Not like Las Vegas where they sometimes always got a lot going on with drought, but major droughts. All right, and it's not just in America. You got it going on where? Over there in the so-called Middle East, and over there in so-called China, and over there in so-called Britain, man. So these different things is going on all around the world. All right, mainly these things are going to hit who? Babylon the Great, right? The daughter of Babylon. So let's read number 4 again, right? It says, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Nobody's going to be able to quench it, man. Nobody's going to be able to stop these droughts from happening. Nobody's going to be able to stop these forest fires from happening. Damn, Palestine or Israel can take as much as that Mediterranean sea water as they can to try to refill the lakes and the rivers. Guess what? It's still not going to work, man. It's not going to work. Why? Because the Lord said that these things is going to happen. You're not going to be able to you can't get around the Lord. All right, you cannot get around the Lord. These things is going to come to you regardless. All right, or come to this place regardless. And verse 5, it says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Right, and man is nobody that they could be able to drive these things away. It's not going to happen. Can't happen, and it won't happen. Right? Why? Because the Lord has spoken it at the end of the day. This is the book of I want to stay in the book of Second Ezra, and when we read in Second Ezra so much, because these are the times that we living in. All right, we literally living in the times of Second Ezra. Second Ezra chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 9, 14, 15, and 16, man. We're literally living during these times, these times that were spoken about hundreds and thousands of years ago. So I want to read Second Ezra chapter 15 and let's start at 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So the same way the Lord, guess what? he struck Egypt, ancient Egypt, with many plagues, and they couldn't do nothing about them. And it pursued them, man. It pursued them, and guess what? It overtook them at the end of the day. They was overtaken by what? The plagues that the Lord has sent among them. It says, I'm going to read that again. But I will bring with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. And that's what's happening. What's happening? The Lord, Yahweh, is visiting the earth. That don't mean he's getting off his throne, but how is he doing that? Through these plagues that he's sending. All right, through these plagues that he's sending, right? Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 21. All right, Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. All right, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. And you've been, if you haven't been paying attention, you literally had an earthquake every other day in some part of the world. All right, it says, and famines. You have famines increasing in these last days. You got famines literally being increased all over the earth right now. Right, we even just talked about how Texas right now, they going through not only a drought, but a major famine also. Why? Because the cattle is dying from what these extreme temperatures and heat that the Lord is bringing upon them. Not only that, but there's no water for them. There's no water for them. You can't stay alive without water. All right. It says, and famines and pestilences. All right. Now it says, and pestilences. What pestilences are coming upon the face of the earth right now? You have 7 different pestilences, aka diseases, or aka viruses, that's upon the face of the earth right now at the same time, affecting the world at the same time, and majorly, not just a little thing, but majorly. You understand? Now, we gonna use wisdom when naming these different things off. If you got ears to hear, all praise to the Most High. You can look these things up on your own also. Okay, you got the Donkey Kong disease. We just gonna call it Donkey Kong disease. All right, so you got the Donkey Kong. All right, you got something called, and like I said, we're using wisdom. The tornado. All right, the tornado flu. Right, tornado. Then you got other different things, right? Things that's having people to drop dead. Just know and understand you got 7 different plagues, or it's like it's 7 different pestilences that's on the earth right now harming people at the same time. There hasn't been these many things on the earth, these many pestilences on the earth at one time. 7 different ones, right? And they're all affecting people to the point to where people are dying from these different things. All right. So these are the things that's coming upon the face of the earth, man. And the Lord is visiting the earth through what? Through pestilences, earthquakes, upwards of the people, droughts, fires being sent out, floods being sent out. Not only that, over there in California, Southern California is going through a drought right now. At the same time Southern California is going on a drought, you got a lot of these I don't know what to call them, so-called scientists or weatherman people who's saying that at the same time they're fearing for a major flood to happen. Now we don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but hey, the Lord is jacking that place up, man. You're going through a middle of a drought, major drought. In the midst of you going through a major drought, the Lord might send a major flood next. And they saying that it could be the worst that that anybody alive today has experienced in a lifetime. So these different things is coming and happening upon the face of the earth, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah real quick. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 42. And 22. All right. It says, because you can't run from these different things. There's nowhere on the earth you can go that's just going to be a safe spot for you. There's nowhere Esau can go that's going to be a safe spot for him. There's nowhere Israel can go. Talking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, there's nowhere you can go. You can go to Africa. You can go to Asia. You can go to Australia. You can go to the North Pole. These things are the so-called North Pole. These things, guess what? They gon' hit. Everybody's going to be affected by these different things, man. All these countries is going to be affected. There's nowhere you can go to hide from these different things. What you got to do in these last days is make your calling and election sure. Make your calling and election sure. Pray that the Most High have mercy upon you. Make sure you're keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability and having faith in these last days. Right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. It says, now therefore know certainly that ye shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence in the place whither ye desire to go and to sojourn. You see that? Now we know in this context he was referring to Israel, but guess what? This applies to Esau. Not only Esau, but all the other nations. No matter where they go, no matter where they try to hide, no matter where they try to go or do or whatever the case may be, guess what? They shall surely die. From what? From the sword, the famine, and the pestilence that the Lord is bringing upon the face of the earth. All right. Let me get this last precept. All right. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So you got to remember, your Creator now, man. Remember your Creator in the days of thy youth. Remember the Creator before all hell officially breaks loose. And all hell is already breaking loose. But when all hell straight up break loose, hey, you wanna get right with the Lord before that happens. You understand? You want to make your calling and election sure before that happens. In the days of thy youth, man. That's when you want to come and serve the Lord, man. All right. This is the book of 1 Peter. It's like it's 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. All right. So this is a quick update through the Spirit. Power Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Lord willing, brothers and sisters was edified with the things that's going on throughout the earth. I want to give a Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yashala.